Good morning, good day, and good evening, depending on what time you're watching this. Hi, my loves. Welcome to my page. My name is Maputi. You can just address me as Maputi. You do not need to address me as Gogo, Mkulu. You do not need to tokoza me. You can just say hi. Or do just normal greetings that you do to every single other person. You do not need to namaste me. You do not need to salam alaikum me. Alrighty, and then those of you who are new to this page, welcome. Please get yourself acquainted with the message. It is advisable that you go through the videos because this is spiritual content for people that want to learn, people that want to grow spiritually, not people who are looking for quick solutions. So if you are looking for a quick solution, I'm not the spiritual person you should be following. I don't have them. I don't know them. And to every get yourself acquainted with the messages, go through my videos, download them, save them, make sure that you are learning. No one is holding a gun to your face to follow this page. If you just see my face for the first time, to like my content, to comment, or to even be a part of the message. You choose it out of your own accord. And if you then decide to choose and say that you want to join us, then they say that when you're in Africa, you do as the Africans do. When you're in a place, you do as the people are doing. You do not try and now want the people to change to be like you. Also, I make long videos. I don't get to the point. I don't know what the point is, and I'm going to keep on making long videos with irritating intros. So if you follow me, follow accordingly, because you will always get this intro at the beginning of every video I make. Not a nice person. I don't intend to be a nice person, and I don't care. And then, for those of you who are interested in a consultation, you can inbox us. You can message us on inbox on TikTok. You can email us. The link is found there. Or YouTube, you can look at the email is written on the bio. The website, please refrain from using the website to book for now until we kind of get it to the level that we need it to be at. Okay, if you meet me on the street, if you happen to meet me on the street, greet me nicely and I will greet you nicely and be courteous with you. If you don't like me, there's no need to greet me. You can just pass by. Because I know that not every single person likes me. I'm not for everyone, so I don't expect everyone to like me. And so just greet me if you want to greet me. Refrain from making a scene. I'm not a celebrity. And yeah, I'll be courteous, but also always remember that I did not come there for you. I came there because I was doing other stuff. So that's not an opportunity for a consultation. And even if I see things, I'm not going to say them. That's just me. Okay. And then, yeah, that's all I wanted to say in the intro. Now I want to start with the lesson. The lesson, I should not have. There were old chips in the fridge and I had them in the morning. Now I'm starting to be slow. But I was so hungry. Okay. So the lesson is going to consist of 2 dreams. So the lesson is taken out of 2 dreams. I was then asked to share the dreams. Not sure why, but you know, every single thing I'm told to share is always aligned with the right people. It is the message that those on this journey who have been with me and following me energetically need the message. So when the people need the message, then we are then given alignment. They will find alignment. Those who actually go to their altar. People who are aligned are the ones that actually go to their altar and pray like Tato. If you don't know, anything about an altar and how to pray like Tato, then it is a sign that you need to go educate yourself by watching the videos. Do not irritate me in the comment section asking me where do I find the video for Tato. You go look for it yourself. So when you go on your altar and pose questions, talk to your people, listen to your intuition, create an energetic aura around you, and things that are aligned with you will always find you. If the information is not coming, it means that you are not yet aligned with it. So let's start with the first dream. So this dream, I'm just only going to share 2 of the dream. They happened between the space of 2021 and 2023. Right? Now, I'm not going to give a dream interpretation of what these dreams mean. But in the lessons, you will pick up what the message of the dreams were. I'll only share important details about the dreams, especially the second dream. I'll only share important details about it. The first one, I can go into depth about it, but yeah. If it's similar to a dream that you have, please do not ask me to interpret your dreams. I do not do dream interpretation in the inboxes or the comment section. Just because I shared a dream right now does not give you a right to come into my inbox and asking me about your dreams. We have a dream interpretation section where you can book dreams to be interpreted. It's 1,000 rand for a maximum of 5 dreams. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 dream or 2 dreams. It does not matter. It's a maximum of 5 dreams. You will submit them according to how our admin will direct you, and you will get your interpretation. The last interpretation we did, the person kept on saying, yo. Yo, I'm out of words. I've never had a dream interpreted like that. Yo. Because dream interpretation is a consultation on its own. Ditoro di a tlhatlhobwa, right? Dreams are checked. It's just like checking your life. Okay. Now, this dream, the 2 dreams are about trains. The main thing is about a train journey in the dream. So the first dream starts with me. Move my tea here. So the first dream starts with me. There's 4 people in this dream. There are 4 people. I'm one of them. There's 4 people and I'm one of them. And so the dream starts with these 4 people. We are walking towards a train. I have no idea where we came from, where we are coming from, but the scene starts itself at a particular place. Now, the most interesting thing about these 4 people is that the 3 people, I in the dream considered them friends. I said they were my friends, but I did not know them. When I woke up there, I could not put their faces to anyone that I know. And so these 3 people were all wearing their spiritual, traditional, and ancestral attires. The first one was wearing like a sangoma, a whole-on Nguni sangoma attire. The second one was wearing the more prophetic attire, right? Speaker, bitani, whatever they call it, bitani. Dresses, the different colors, they were wearing their more prophetic Southern African attire for spiritual prophetic churches. And the third one had a mixture of the two. So they were if I remember correctly, they were more dressed in malopo, right? The black and white. But they also, yes, they reminded me now. They were dressed in malopo mixed with kamaku, right? They were dressed in malopo mixed with kamaku. How the kamaku people dress and how the malopo people dress, right? So mainly these are South African spiritual sects that people initiate under. Okay. And then with me, on the other hand, I was dressed in black. But there wasn't an element, there wasn't like an element to say maybe I had a black speaker, I had a black jersey. No, I did not have any of that. I was dressed in a black outfit, which was long and long hands, and it kind of had. So when you looked into it, you kind of like saw the galaxy a little bit. So it had like stars. It's as if like when you looked into it, it's sort of like you were looking into the galaxy. This black outfit that I was wearing. Okay. So that's how we were all dressed, right? Meaning that each and every person, each and every person represented the sect of spirituality that many of you fall under. And so we're walking towards a train. But the scene starts when we enter a market. Before we can get to the train station, we have to go through a market. It's a busy, bustling market. And as we were walking along the market, I then noticed on my left side, a mother who was holding a baby in her back, like how Africans we carry our babies. And she had a stall. Now, also one thing about the market is that the market, it looked like, you know, when there's a misty day, when it's a day and there's mist has descended, usually it will be white, the mist will be white, but the mist in the market was black, right? And so we navigate, you can see, but it's also dark, but every single person in the market is kind of brownish, has this brownish thing about them. So you can't, I know it's a woman, but I can't differentiate their faces, or I just see their images in a way, because it's not important. So now the woman had a stall in the market. I think she was selling oranges or whatever. And the oranges had fallen down. And so she was picking up the oranges, but she was not aware of a cut. So there was this olden day trolleys cuts that was coming from a hill, and it was coming directly towards her. And so, me being me, I rushed to go help her so that that thing doesn't hit her and the baby. And it was coming behind, and it was definitely going to hit the baby. Right? So I helped her, and then I helped her with whatever it is that she was doing, picking up all those things. And all of a sudden, there seems to be a lot of people that are surrounding us now. And I'm like, okay, now I've done my job. Let me move. But now I can't get through, because now it's as if like everyone in the market just came there. You know, now I'm trying to maneuver my way out of it, but eventually I managed to maneuver my way out of it. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, wait, I'm late for my train. I start running. Now, interesting thing, the three friends, they never looked back. None of them even said, friend, come. No one even came to look for me. Let alone they were not helping anyone. They were focused on their journey and where they are going. And so I ran. And then when you enter the train station, there's a threshold. Right? There's a threshold that you need to go in. Now, just when I was about to go, I'm approaching the threshold. There's a man next to the threshold inside the market, not in the train, inside the market, making shoes. A shoemaker or a shoe cleaner. And then this man starts an argument with an Asian man. Like, for some reason, those two, I saw them. They start an argument, and they start fighting just by the threshold, the entrance of the train station. And now I can't pass because they keep on. So it's as if like the fight was deliberate to block me. And now I'm irritated. Now what then starts happening, because they're fighting, now other people start also coming and crowding that entrance. And I said to myself, there is no way in hell I'm going to miss that train. Right? I maneuvered my way, I found my way, and I went through. So when you enter the train station, as I said, in the market, it is dark. There's a dark mist that has fallen. In the train station, there's a light. It's like a sunny day. There's even flowers growing there. You can even see every single thing in color. You can identify everything. The train was waiting, right? The train was waiting. The doors were open, and I ran. And I then found my seat. Now, the interesting thing about this train is that every single person on the train was accounted for. The seat were given by name. You must have done something to be honored to be on the train. Now, the other thing about this train is that once the train goes, there's no other one. In real life, you know that if you miss one train, another one is going to come back. But in this instant, once the train has left, there's no other one. And even if another one comes, you can't use that same ticket. You have to go back to where you came from. Now, I don't even know where we came from. You have to go back to where we came from. My friends are in the train. The one who was dressed in Nguni Sangoma, she was even crying, right? She knew she could not help me, and she was crying. But she was not about to leave her seat for someone else, right? And that I don't know which friend is this, but I commend her for that. And so I got into the train and I allocated my seat and I sat down. And after I allocated my seat and sat down, the doors of the train closed. Then the train left. But you would have probably thought that, no, maybe I made it in time. No. Apparently, the conductor of the train had been saying, let's just wait for 5 minutes. Had been delaying the train. Every single person in there had to be delayed because of me. Had to be saying, let's just wait for 5 minutes. Because the conductor knew there's no other train. That's the train. This is not a thing where we can say, I'll catch the next train. There's no other train. And so with that, the captain said, let's just wait for 5 minutes. Let's just wait for 5 minutes. And he had said, let's wait for another 5 minutes. If she's not here, we are leaving. And the nicest thing about the people that made it on this train, it was not people who would start now complaining and say, no, but we made it here on time. What must we wait for someone else? There were people who were spiritually advanced. And everyone was hoping I make it on that train. And I sat down on the train and the doors closed and tears started falling down my eyes. Because the realization that I could have actually missed my train, you know? And I don't even know what would have happened. So I don't know what would have happened if I had missed my train. And so with that, I woke up. When I woke up, the first thing that I started looking at was, when I wake up from a dream, I don't wake up and start asking, oh, I'm so confused. Oh, what does this mean? Me, I go and I break down the dream in symbols, right? What are people walking down in a market. But by that time, I already knew about the astral market. I knew I was in the astral market. But the one thing I knew that I needed to address, I knew that that dream was coming to me to show me a shadow aspect of myself. That dream was coming to me to show me a shadow aspect of myself. And there's a shadow aspect of myself that needed to be healed at that particular time. And what is that shadow aspect? Is the savior syndrome. That dream was highlighting my savior syndrome. That me appointing myself as a savior for other people who didn't even ask for my help. This is where, when my ancestors will start saying, did they ask you, Maputi? Did these people ask you for help? And I'll be like, no, they didn't. Exactly. Right? So that's when I started identifying that I have an issue. And this issue is the main reason why I've been delayed in life. My issue was that I wanted to help everyone else around me. Now remember the line that came back, that came after I woke up, when I was writing the dream down, when I was now in the interpretation sections and I was breaking down the symbols and trying to interpret this dream. and the different symbols that had came into it and whatever. And then from breaking down the symbols, then, what does a shoemaker represent? Like oranges, what do they represent? If they are falling down, if a child is in danger, a mother holding a baby, those are the symbols. Going on the internet, researching the symbols in terms of what do they mean spiritually. And then breaking down the symbols, coming up with a whole after reading the symbols, then coming up with a definition, a theme, not necessarily a definition, coming up with a theme. So now as I was looking at my theme, the one thing that I remember hearing a voice says that you cannot lift other people when you are not standing on higher ground. You cannot lift other people to higher ground when you are not standing on higher ground yourself. So I thought about it and I was like, and I've been trying to lift people to higher ground, help people when I was struggling. So that's a savior syndrome. You are always trying to help other people but yourself. And I had to address this. And yet the people never ask for help. And even if they do ask for help, if I don't have the capacity to help, I must say I can't help. Just because I'm a spiritual person, it doesn't mean that I must help anyone who comes to me with spiritual issues. And this is why people who are spiritual people, spiritual practitioners, spiritual healers are the most miserable people out there, because they feel that it's their duty to help other people. Right? I had to assess my life and look at every single person that I had dedicated a mission to helping. And it is in that mission that I found myself getting involved in other people's drama. That I had to look at myself and decide I'm not going to help these people. Because spirituality is a personal, no, not spiritual. Salvation is a personal thing. Salvation is not a community. It's not a conference call. Salvation is a personal thing. It's a thing that you have to go through it on your own. And the efforts that you are putting in your own personal salvation, the next person needs to do that. It doesn't matter whether this person is your family, your husband, your wife, your child, your mother, your sister, your father. It doesn't matter, or a friend. At the end of the day, every single person needs to put work. Every single person needs to put work towards their own salvation. Right? Because if you look at the dream symbol, the woman didn't ask me. No one asked me for help. Those who know their mission were focused on where they needed to go, and they would not miss their train. But sometimes some of the delays in your life are not coming because of witchcraft. Some of the delays in your life are coming because you are always concerned about other people's issues and not yours. You are not focused. You are not focused. You are not focused on your journey. And because you are not focused on your journey, you put yourself at jeopardy. You put yourself at jeopardy of missing the train. And that's the thing. Many of us don't think that there is a time frame to everything. The whole reason why there's divine timing. There is divine timing, meaning that there's a time allocated for certain things to happen in your life. But then also there's divine endings. It means that certain things, if not done at a certain point, at a certain time window, you will miss the opportunities. And unfortunately, some opportunities do not return. Right? So at that time, I had to make some serious adjustments into my life and decide how am I moving forward. Okay, I started making changes in my life, working on my shadow work, doing my own shadow work, addressing my shadows. They need to be a savior. They need to want to save people. the need to want to be the one person that everyone goes to, the need to always be there for my friends. And I remember I was talking about this with one of my mentees. I think it was a friend, and we were talking about switching off. We're talking about switching off, and I said to them, I was like, and they were saying to me, it's like, yo, you are my inspiration when it comes to switching off, because sometimes I'll send you a message and I'll get one tick and I'll know your phone is off, right? Back then, I would never have my phone off because I was always under this thing. What if a friend calls needing help? What if a family member calls needing help? What if? But no one ever called needing help. And yet, when I would call at night needing help, no one would answer my phone. So some of those things, those tiny things, I then started prioritizing me and my journey, and then started with me switching off my phone. Me switching off my phone and going to bed and sleeping peacefully and rejuvenating my body. And then whatever I need to deal with, I'll deal with it in the morning. Right? No one is going to die. And even if they die, it was their time. It was never my time. It's not like I can save anyone from dying. So I started making those decisions, changing a lot of things in my life. Looking at things like, is my opinion needed online? No, my opinion is not needed in this comment section. Looking at things, did this friend ask for advice? No, they did not. Now, if they didn't ask for advice, am I going to sit and listen to them complain and talk about their life? No, right? So then it means that I need to cut off so that I don't have certain conversation with certain people. And even if they come asking for advice, do I have the capacity to advise them? Do I have the energy to advise them? If not, then there's no need for me to advise them or listen to it. Right? So I started making important choices. Now, you know, one thing about the shadow, I said this to a mentee the other day, and I said it to a broadcast message that I sent to my mentees, discussing a particular topic. And I said, the thing about the shadow comes up to the surface when it needs to be healed. But you would think you've healed one eye. The shadow has multiple faces. And one aspect can have different faces to it. And sometimes you would think you've dealt with it. You've only dealt with it. You took something that was here and dealt with it up until here. Yes, there's still more of it that you need to deal with it, but now it's not yet important for you to deal with it. When the time is ready for you to deal with it, it will pop up. When shadows pop up, many of you try to repress them. Your first instinct is to repress it instead of facing it head on and actually dealing with it, confronting it and looking it in the mirror and say, who are you? What do you want? And how do I help you? Right? So now, have another dream. I think I'm going to share 3 dreams. Hopefully I have enough time. Have another dream, another train dream. This time I'm at the train station. And now I'm at the train station. This one is a little bit different. It doesn't have the same meaning as the second one. This is where you need to be careful instead of saying all train dreams represent this. You need, that's why a dream is, you define a dream, you check a dream. So now this dream, I was at a train station waiting for friends. The train had not yet arrived. So this time the train had not yet arrived. I was early because I've been doing the work. I did not want to make the same mistake again. So obviously I will make it on time. When I woke up from the first dream, I was like, I will never, ever miss my train ever again. And I've never missed the train. All my train dreams, ever since that day, from the first dream, ever since then, every single train dream I have, I'm there early. I'm the first one to get there. So now I'm there early, and I'm a little bit hungry. Right? I'm a little bit hungry. There's no food or stalls at the train. I actually felt like I wanted KFC. In the dream, I was like, no, I feel like I need KFC. So I start walking, looking for KFC. And It's as if like I went through a portal and then boom, I know where I need to go for KFC, right? I'm going there. But as I'm walking towards in this town, they only have one KFC. And as I'm walking in this town going towards KFC, I see it up there on a mountain, right? And I know that I need to make the journey up the mountain to get to the KFC. Fine, I'm going. Now I notice as I'm approaching the foot of the mountain, I'm like, no man, this is ZCC. In my dream, I'm like, I've only been once in my life to Moria, and I know it. The thing about ZCC is that you can never miss it. I was like, no way, this is ZCC. And there's a taxi rank next to it. People are coming out of the taxis going into, and they splash them with water and people are coming in. So in order to get to KFC, you need to go through ZCC. Right, so there's a symbolism on its own. It's another complicated symbolism on its own. And so I stood there and I asked myself, is it worth it? Because by the time I get to KFC and come back, I'm definitely going to miss the train. So now I assess. So the same test presented itself. But because I'm a little bit matured, I was now able to see it. And I was now ready to ask myself. Now I stood there asking myself eternal questions. Because during my shadow work for the past few months, I've been doing a lot of internal conversations and asking myself questions. So now, even in this dream, I was then presented by the same test. But this time I sat there and asked myself questions. Is it worth it? Should I go there? Do I honestly want this chicken? Do I honestly want that chicken? I said, no, it's fine. I'm sure there's food in the train. That's what I said to myself, and I turned. I got in the taxi to take me back to the train station. But yet, the taxi is waiting for people to come. And people had just went to church. So obviously, we need to wait for everyone who went into Moria to come out so that we can go. And I was like, I don't have time for that. I honestly don't have time to wait for anyone. So I'm going to have to find my way back to the train station. I left the taxi and I went. And as soon as I went through a stop sign, like as I was crossing a stop sign, automatically I was back in the train station. I was back in the train station, and the train had arrived. But it had just arrived. So when I got back, it is when the train was also arriving. And the train was arriving, and also my ancestor was arriving as well. She had just arrived. So she found me waiting there. She did not have to go look for me. I was already waiting there. So she found me waiting there. She was the reason why the train did not arrive on time. Apparently the train was late this time. The reason why the train was delayed is because she had a meeting with the UN. She was head of something in the UN. And she had my ticket. Right? She's an Arab woman. She had my ticket, and she came and gave me my ticket and said that we had a meeting. That's why we are late. But we are ready to go. Now, the nicest thing about this train, because of the work that I had done, it is that I was given, in the first dream, we came holding the tickets. Right? We already had our ticket. In the second dream, I was given a ticket by my Arab ancestor, who is a head of something in the UN. And then she then said, as we got into the train, she said, no, we have our own. So it's a luxury train. That's the thing about it. But they were both nice trains. They were both luxury trains. I feel like the first train looked more like the blue train. This one, this one was like a proper luxury train. And she said, no, we have our own section. We have our own cut where it is just us. It has bedrooms. It has like dining. It has like a whole living space for just the two of us. We're not, and then she said something, and she said, we're not sitting with the commoners. We have our own space. I was like, okay. followed behind her. I followed behind her and followed behind her and I woke up, right? So the dream was a confirmation that I'm making the right choices in my shadow work. But it also highlighted a particular aspect because at that time or before I had the dream, I kept on having visions and dreams about going to a mountain. And I kept on having dreams about greens pickers. And I kept on having dreams. And when I would talk to people, they'd be like, no, you need to go and appease your mountain ancestors. And I'd see some ZCC people. So I'm like, okay, so there must be some ancestry who's ZCC here. Right? So this part, it is now when I was presented with the choice. In the first dream, it was a choice between me and helping people and working on my savior syndrome. This savior syndrome was coming in the form of saving a particular ancestry. Now, do I go and take up the mantle of saving and doing the work for this ancestor who belong to ZCC, but they need me to go into ZCC in order to get the gifts that they have for me? Is it worth it? And for me, the decision was like, no. Instead, I chose to go with the rich aunt who had bought me a ticket with our own card in a luxury train. Right? So I was presented with a choice here. Am I going to follow the more ancestral route and go with the dialogue and all those things, or am I going to take a different path? And I chose a different path. All right. And I chose a different path because I understood that I'm not here to save anyone. Let alone whether it be an ancestor or whether it be a friend or family member, I'm not here to save anyone. And it doesn't mean that every ancestral work that is sent my way, I need to take it. And that's when they taught me the lesson to say that you don't have to take any ancestral request that comes your way. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it leading you to where you want to go? Is it leading you towards your divine soul purpose? Because every single soul on earth is here on a mission. And your mission does not include you saving other people. That's not your mission. You have a mission, but along your mission, you can help other people. Right? You can do certain ancestral work because maybe certain ancestors are intertwined a lot. Or maybe you will be unable to proceed if you don't break this generational curse, if you don't fix this tiny thing. But it doesn't mean that every responsibility in your family is yours. It doesn't mean that now every single traditional ancestral thing that needs to be done must be done by you. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that their ancestors won't ask you. It doesn't mean that they won't threaten you. It doesn't mean that they won't take advantage of that. They will. But you need to have a strong backbone and decide what you're taking and what you're not taking. How will you know what you're taking and what you're not taking? This is where I ask me, is it worth it? Is it worth me going to Moria inside ZCC, going all the way to the mountain to go get chicken? And yet, even making that decision, I didn't even know what was waiting for me at the train station. I didn't. But innately, intuitively, I knew I didn't want to do that. And even when the dreams were coming of these pickers, the dreams were coming of me going to the mountains and what, it just never resonated with me. I did not connect to them. And it's okay. And I had been doing a lot of ancestral work by that time. So I didn't understand why is it like now every single thing has to be given to me. So then I made that decision. But the test presented itself for the third time. The test presented itself. Now this time, the test presented itself last year. Yes, it presented itself last year. There was no train this time. In this dream, I'm not gonna share every single thing because we're also running out of time. I'm not gonna share every single thing, but in this dream, the gist of the matter is, I'm working with someone, right? We're walking on a road. And what I then notice is that a friend of mine is behind us, a very dear friend of mine. She's behind us. So what I then did is that I said to the person I'm walking with, let's slow down. We then started slowing down. And then when we started slowing down so that she can catch up with us. And she did catch up with us. But as we were walking, she then started walking faster than us. So in the way we were walking, it was, I don't know what determined our steps, right? And she was walking faster than us and maneuvering the path in a way that we could not maneuver it. But yet she was not telling us how she got and how she managed to maneuver this path in the way that she was maneuvering it. And with that, I was delayed on the path because we could have been so far. Now, when I realized that this person will just surpass us and get to where she's going quicker, and yet, remember, she never asked us to wait for her. She was just walking on her path, and I looked back and I saw her behind, and me, being me, I then decided to wait for her. And yet, the poor lady never asked. Did she ask, Maputi? No, she did not ask. So are we gonna blame her for not sharing her secrets when she never asked for your secrets to begin with? And so she took which you told her, and put it together, and then created something better for herself. And yet she didn't ask you, so you can't blame her. So now she was walking faster than us. Because I think if I remember correctly, the stream, when we met, because I was not planning on editing the stream, it's just now coming up. When we met, I told her how to walk at our pace. And she took that, added to what she was already doing, and it allowed her to walk faster. And yet, in no instance did she look back and give us the tip of what she was doing on that path. Right? And she moved on. But luckily, I was met by a guy. And when I was met by a guy, there's this man who came, noticed what was happening. He came and he said, because I was like, okay, no, we'll get there one way or another, but I was so sad because I felt like I could have been there by now. Wherever it is that we are going, I could have already reached there. But I delayed myself by looking back at a friend and trying to help a friend. And so this man came and said, I know the shortcut. I know a shortcut, but going through this shortcut is not going to be easy. It's going to require, it's not an easy, and we have to pass through a very dangerous colony. And I was like, no, it's fine. Let's go through the shortcut. And we went through the shortcut. And yeah, when I was in the shortcut, I was like, why did I agree to go through the shortcut? But it was through the shortcut that I managed to get to where I was going quicker and safer, right? And reach there in time. It was through the assistance. Now, it's funny because this man always appeared as like a Hosanna. It was because now the methods that they use to get me to where I'm going, they're not conventional methods. There's no white methods. It was gray. They mixed a lot of things. There was a whole lot of things that were mixed into this method to get me to where I'm going. And they had to adjust themselves because I had made decisions that were delaying me. Right? And so now when I woke up, the first thing I did with this dream is analyze it in a point to ask myself, where am I? In this dream, at this particular moment, where am I? Is it a past thing that has already happened? Is it a present thing that is happening now? Or is it a future thing that's going to happen? From analyzing the many, many symbols that were found in the dream, I'm like, I did not even touch 10% of the symbols that were found in that dream. From analyzing the very many symbols that were found in the dream, it was then declared, the theme was that it was something that would happen in the future, right? So it was a future prediction. And if I look back at this particular person, I am going to end up finding myself in a situation where I'll be delayed and I won't get to where I need to go, and they will surpass me. And when I looked at it, it was the one person I was very concerned about. And I said to myself, and yet she never asked for help. If she needs help, she will come to me and ask for help, but she never asked for help. So why am I concerned about them? So I started focusing on my journey, focusing on me. Because I don't want to have to go through the shortcuts, the dangerous shortcuts. I didn't want to have to go through that. So I wanted to get to where I'm going without having to use the shortcuts, without having to compromise, without having to do a whole lot of things to get me to where I need to go. Right? Instead, I'm going to focus. But if I keep looking back, if I keep looking on my side, if I keep looking on my, instead you must look forward. In the horse racing, that's why when they do horse racing, the horses were, I don't even know what they call those things in English. In Afrikaans, they say "Gidi wortlap." What is the word for those things? Right? So that's why, so that the horses do not, they have tunnel vision, so that the horses do not get distracted by others on the side. And that's the reality. When you are too focused on other people, you get distracted. When you are too focused on what everyone else around you is doing, you get distracted. You do not see your own blessings that you already have in your life, because you keep on looking and measuring what you have with what everyone else has. And yet you don't know what they have. Back in before 2010, I think I was reading a book or reading a blog post or something like that, and I came across this story where they said that there was a group of people, and in this group of people, all had problems, all were going through so many problems. And remember, in the beginning, I always say to you, we all have problems. There's no need for you to come into my inbox and tell me your problems. Every single person on this page has problems. Yet other people don't go into other people's inboxes and bothering them with their problems. So what then happened is that this group of people all had issues, all had problems that they couldn't deal with, that they felt like were too much for them. And then what then happened was that there was washing lines, old type washing lines. And they were all said, they were given like somewhere to write their problems, right? On a white shirt. And then they would say that hang your problems on the washing line. And everyone went and hanged their problems on the washing line. And after that, the coordinator said that go and pick the problem that you think you can handle. We are exchanging problems now. So I'm going to tell you my problem, you tell me yours, and we exchange them. You decide, do you take mine or do you keep yours? And the coordinator said that every single person went back to their own problems. Every single person went back and took their own problems. Because when they looked at everyone else's problems, they realized, nope, I can't handle that problem. Right? So that's the thing. We all have problems. Every single human being has problems on earth. Everyone has problems. But when you are looking at the social mirrors that people place, the facades that people wear, the fake profiles that people make, the fake lifestyles that people make, the inauthenticities that's out there in the world, you will feel like your world is nothing. You will feel like you're not beautiful. You'll feel like you have not achieved anything. You will feel like, if I were to measure my life according to worldly standards, I would be one of those people who they will be like, they don't know what they're doing with their life, because they never have a job. They just keep on traveling the world. They're always moving from one place to another. They don't even have a steady place that they live in. Right? Even though I live in the most beautiful places, people be like, but they don't even have a steady place where they live in. So if I were to measure my life according to other people's standards, I would be miserable today. because I will start wanting what they have. But I learned many years back never to measure my life with other people's life. Instead, create the life that I want for myself. And the life that I want for myself is never in alignment with what the world is doing. I always tell you, if the world is going left, go right. If the world is going right, go left. Do the opposite of what they're doing. And so I've lived, I am one person, I live my truth. I live my preaching. If I preach something, I only preach things that I've lived. That's the thing about me. If I preach celibacy, it's because I've been celibate and I've seen the benefits of it. And then that's why I'm preaching it. Right? If I preach a certain thing, mental clarity, working on your mind, it's because I've seen the benefits of it in my life. Right? So I live my truth. I live inauthentically of who I am. Right? But then if you are too focused on what everyone else around you is doing, and you're not even seeing who they truly are, because what we show you on social media, right now you're looking here in this video, you only see this wall. Oh, you've seen a little bit of the kitchen in this house, but yet you don't know how many rooms this house has. You don't know what's in front of me. You have no idea every single thing. You only see this vision that I have decided to show you. This could be a tiny room that has an image that I've made up and I'm pretending to be living in a beautiful place. Or this could be a very magnificent house. You don't know that. But you will take what I tell you, what I show you. So the tiny bits of our lives that we show you, you take that as standard. And yet you do not know the evils that go on in people's lives. You do not know the demons that they have to face every single night to live that life. You do not have, or well, not all of us are facing demons. Some of us are facing discipline, mastery. You do not know what it takes, the level of self-mastery that needs to go into living my life. And yet you want it. And yet you know you are lazy. You cannot even sit for hours and work. You know that you think I'm sitting the whole day watching K-drama. And yet you don't know how much I work. I work to a point that by 10, my brain can't function. I'm out. I need to sleep. That's why I switch off my phone. Just so that I can rest. And yet you want it. You think I'm living, you think it's nice. Right? It's because we've put standards. Many of you put standards and put images, and you wear rose-colored glasses. But if you were to focus on your own life, if you were to focus your energy back to you, you will move faster than how you've been moving. If you were to focus your energy back to you, focus your attention back to you. The turning point in my life is when I decided to cut everyone out for a while. Whether it be clients, whether it be consultations, whether it be what, I did not want to engage with anyone. And I took all that energy and I channeled it to me. That fueled my quantum leap, my first quantum leap. That fueled every single thing that I'm doing today. For a few months, for a period of a few months, the only thing that I did was focus on me. To the point I'll look at the phone ring and I'll just look the other way and continue with what I'm doing. Because I just did not want to entertain anyone. And I would sit alone. I would watch K-drama. I would do things that influenced, that fueled me. So the best thing you can do for yourself is stop being a savior and start saving yourself. Focus all your energy, time, and attention on you. Leave everyone else. It doesn't matter whether you're married. And many married people have this thing where they're delayed in life because they're trying to save the other partner. And because they are progressing faster than the other partner. And you will be delayed. You will miss up on a lot of things. Many married people miss up on so many important things because of the people they are married to who drag them down. decisions that they cannot make, cannot take certain position, cannot do certain things because their partner will feel jealous or their partner will feel intimidated. And then they will come in consultation, Kai, my life is stuck. How? How is it stuck? Focus on you and leave everything. It doesn't matter that's a sibling. It doesn't matter that's a parent. It doesn't. You came alone on this earth, and you will leave alone. You will leave all these people. Focus on you and channel all your energy to yourself. And people who are always needing your help, if you leave them alone long enough, they will find assistance somewhere else. That's the thing about people. If you leave them long enough, they will find assistance somewhere else. They will find someone else to sponge off. Right, my love? Here's the message for today. There's the lessons for today. I hope that sharing of the dreams will be able to help you guys a lot. And I wish you guys a beautiful day and a beautiful week. And until next time, toodles!